Hello, hello everyone. You're welcome back to our YouTube channel today, Sewing with Sewing. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you've not liked any of our videos, please go back and like our videos. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It will help us. And also you can drop comments on things you want to see us do. Okay, today we're going to be making pants. We're going to be making female trousers, female fitted trousers that will fit perfectly, that will not have any issues at the crotch area, that will not have any folding, that will not have any baggy, that will not have any issues. We're going to be doing a lot of tightening, a lot of crotch tightening, a lot of adjustments that basically most people that make trousers, okay, we don't normally get them, accurate, but we're going to be doing that today. So just go along with me. Feel free to repeat this video as many times as possible. I'm first going to draft it on my pattern paper. When I draft it on my pattern paper, in another lesson, another tutorial, we're also going to put the pattern paper on fabric. So we're going to sew it and you will see the end product of how the trousers look like. This is going to be for a UK size 16. As you can see here, the length of the trousers is 38. The waist, that's around here, is 36. The hips, 46. Thigh, 29. Around the knee, we're going to be using 21. Ankle, 14. And the hip to crotch measurement is basically like 2.5. Okay, so these are the trousers. From this basic trouser pattern, you can make skinny trousers, okay? We can make carrot pants, we can make cargo pants, we can adjust it. We can also make palazzo pants, okay? We can adjust these trousers, but basically we have to be able to get the basic measurements, the basic design and the pattern, and this is basically around here. From here, you can be adjusting to whatsoever pattern you want it to be. You can adjust it for it to be palazzo, whatever. But basically, we're going to use this as our base. So later on, we can start modifying it into any type of trousers that you want. You could also use it to make shorts, okay? Short knickers, 3/4 shorts, 3/4 pants. So let's go ahead. So right here, I have drawn my lines 5 inches. I drew 5 inches from the head of the paper down because we're going to use it to draft some other places. Then also from the side, from this side here, I also left an allowance of 5 inches to be able to we're going to use this side also for extra drafting, and 5 inches up here. This piece now is going to be taken as our waistline. So from here down, we're going to be measuring our crotch. The basic measurement for crotch that we normally use is the hip line, which is the round hip divided by 4. And the round hip divided by 4 is 11.5. So we come here and we measure down 11.5. We mark down 11.5. We mark it all the way down here to 11.5. And we draw a straight line. Let me be sure I got this correctly. After we've marked that, we now want to mark the crotch line. The crotch line basically is 2.5 inches above the hip line. So we're going to measure it here. This is basically for plus size people. If you're not a plus size, you're not going to use 2.5. You're going to use 2 inches. This is for plus size people. I will also drop a chart on how the different measurements and the crotch measurements that we normally use for different measurements, because there's basically an amount that we use. You can't use this 2.5 for somebody who has a hip of 38 inches, no. So we'll add hip, crotch. From the crotch measurement, we're going to measure down the entire length of the trouser. We want to get where our knee length is going to be. So what we now do to get the knee length, where the knee is going to be, we'll come here. This is our hip. The full length of our trouser is 38. Then we now come and we divide that 38 into 2. When we divide it into 2, that gives us 19. Okay, and that gives us about 19 inches. That's basically where the hip is going to be. The knee, I beg your pardon. So we measure it here. This is where our knee length is. An alternative method to measure this to get your 19. An alternative way to do it is you take it from your crotch measurement. You take from your crotch line, you take it all the way to the bottom of your trouser and divide it into two. Whatever you get there is where your knee is going to be. That's where the knee is going to be. Okay, I hope you can see it. This is where the knee part is going to be here. Okay, so after we've done that, you've gotten our knee. We now finish with that. We now come on to our horizontal measurement. The first measurement is the hip, and basically the front hip is not as wide as the back hip because of the bum, the butt. The butt gives more space at the back hip than the front hip. So when we are measuring, taking the measurement on the front, because right now we're doing the front pattern. When we're taking the front pattern, we're going to reduce the front hip by 1 inch, but we're going to add it to the back. Okay, so we must take note of that. So our first measurement is going to be on the hip. We're going to divide our hip by 4 and we're going to subtract 1 inch from it. Our hip divided by 4 is 11.5. Then we remove 1 inch from it, and that is 10.5. We come here and we mark our 10. We mark our 10.5. We mark up here also our 10.5. We mark our 10.5 up to the edge of the waist here, and we rule it all the way down. We rule it all the way down. After doing that, we now take our crotch extension on the crotch line here. What's going to be our crotch extension? I just realized that I labeled this as the hip, as the crotch, and this as the hip. These are our crotch measurement, the first one we took, and 2.5 upwards of it gives us the hip. So this is not the crotch line, this is the crotch line. So we come back here and we measure our crotch line. What do? We now divide this. Our crotch line is 10.5 on the line on the crotch line. We divide it into 4. When we divide it into 4, that is 2.5, and we come here and we mark our 2.5. That is going to be our crotch extension for the back. That's going to be our crotch extension for the back. After doing that, we now come and divide the waist to the crotch center from here to here. We have about 11. We divide it into 4. We divide it into 4 also, because we want to get a measurement, and we measure up this way, and we have 2.875. This is where we're going to start our curve from. This part is where we're going to start our curve from. Okay, after we've done that, we come to the waist part here. At this waist part here, our trousers are not going to start from here because we are not straight in front. Okay, so we're going to measure it in by 1.5 to 2 inches. It depends on how big the person's lower belly is. But for this plus size, we use 1.5. For people who are smaller, that don't really have the pouch at the bottom of their tummies, you can use 1 inch. But for us, for this size 16, we're going to use 1.5. And after we've used 1.5, we're now come and connect. Okay. After we've measured this 1.5, at this 1.5, which is going to be the beginning of our front, our center front, we come down by 2 inches because this is for a plus size person. We come down by 2 inches because we're not going to be putting darts in front of this trouser. We're not going to be putting any darts. So this serves as our dart. This is going to cut off all the excess folds that you may see. We're going to connect this 2 inches that we have come down. We're going to connect it all the way to this place. This is called the lowering. we lower it. If you followed my videos on how to make skirts, you see that we lower the front of our skirts. Okay, we lower anything, especially for women. We lower anything. This here we're going to come and we're going to lower the front of our skirts all the way down. So we're marking from here and we come all the way to the edge of the space here. Okay, please always use pencil while you're doing this because you're going to have a lot of erasings. Okay, so now we're going to join our waistline to our crotch line. Remember we had a marking here. Okay, we'll join it, and that's going to serve as a guide. I'm just taking the lines. Okay, so that's our front crotch measurement. So coming here to the side here, we're going to take our measurement of our waist. From our length here, from our book here, we can see our waist is 36. So when we divide 36 into 4, 36 divided by 4 gives us 9 inches. So we're going to mark 9 inches. We'll take it from this front waist here, and we mark our 9 inches. This is our 9 inches here, right on this line. We mark our 9 inches here. And now that we marked our 9 inches, we now connect this waist measurement to our hip measurement. Okay, we connect it to the hip line here. You can see that it's still on this line. It didn't get to this space here. So we mark it and join it to the hip measurement. You can use a straight ruler. Over time, we're going to soften the lines with our curves. So we've measured it to our hip line. After we've done that, so for the crotch line now, we now want to get the crease line, which is for it all the way down. We come to the crotch line. The crotch line is 10.5, not the crotch extension, but we start from the crotch line here, okay? And we get it and we divide it by 2. Whatever we get there, we mark. We put our mark there. So our crotch line, we've divided it into 2. And we have about 5.2. So from this side now, we're going to measure our 5.2 and measure it up to the end of the pants. 5.2. And we're going to rule a straight line all the way down. This is the crease of our trousers, like the center part of our trousers. Okay, so on the knee line here, our knee is 21. Our knee is 21, so we're going to divide our round knee by 4. 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. Then we divide it by this here. Then we come here and we mark. This is divided by 4. Then you come here and you mark. Even if it goes outside this line, don't worry. But it doesn't, this one doesn't. Okay, but at the knee line, we do what? We're going to tighten it a bit, okay? We're going to tighten it, so we're going to give it a bit of shape. So we'll come in by 0.5 inches on the knee line. Remember that when you are taking these measurements, you take the measurements, not that they will be extremely firm, so that you'll be able to sit and so that the trousers will not tear, will not rip. So now we're going to connect, and we're going to connect now these points that we have put on the front pattern. For the bottom of the pants, we can use the same measurement as your knee length, or you can make it smaller. For the ankle, this ankle for this person is 14, so we'll be using the 14 inches. But if you want to make it straight pants, you can just do it all the way straight down to the bottom. You can do it all the way. You use this knee measurement all the way. Since it's just basic pants, over time when you're using this pattern, you can adjust it to each other. So we are going to use the same measurement that we used at the knee is what we're going to use at the bottom here. The same measurement. which is 4.75. We're going to use 4.75. You can adjust it as you so desire. Then we're going to draw a straight line. We're going to connect all the dots right now. Okay. So basically, we're going to come here. There are no straight trousers like this, okay? We're just going to give it a bit of a curve. A bit of a curve. We're going to soften the curve a bit. Okay. Then right here also. At the hip line, nobody has a straight hip. We'll just soften it a bit. Please always use your pencil so you can erase the lines that are not needed. You can, and it's easy. It's more easier. So that's it for the front. That's it for the front pattern. As I said, just continue going through and you'll be able to understand. That's it for the front pattern. So let's move on to the back. So for the back pattern, on the back pattern, we start from the crotch again. On the back pattern, we're going to increase this crotch again by 2 inches. Why? For this is a plus size model. Who owns this? We're going to increase it by 2 inches. And also we're going to be able to give it space for the bum, okay? Because the person's hip is 46, so we need enough space for it to sit. So we increase this by 2 inches. Then we also come to the rise, to the waist. At this waist here, remember that we came in by 1.5 in the front. But at the back, we're going to come in by 3 inches. We're going to start our waist by 3 inches so that we'll have a better curve, a deeper curve for where the bum is going to sit, okay? We come here by 3 inches. At these 3 inches here, this is the beginning of our waist, the center waist. You know, some people when they sit down, their trousers always, their pants line shows, and the trousers, you know, you get to see the pants. But what we're going to do is that we're going to come up by 1.75. We have to give more excess fabric at the back. Okay, so we're going to come up by 1.75. Some people do 2 inches, okay? This is a plus size model, so we're going to come up here by 1.75. 1.75 on this piece here, on the waist. We're going to come up by 1.75 right here. Then from there, we're now going to measure our waist. Our waist, we're going to be having darts at the back. So our waist measurement is 9 inches. 9 inches plus 1.5 inches for darts, and that is 10.5 inches on this place here. So we're going to connect from this place here, this our dart here, all the way to this place here. This is the waist of our back plus the allowance. You see the reason why we left this extra 5 inches. So let's just go ahead and do that. Back to our waistline. So now we're going to come to our crotch measurement. We need to take, this is on the crotch measurement that we take our thigh measurement. It's on the crotch measurement, on the crotch line that we take our thigh measurement. Our thigh measurement is 29, okay? So what we already have before on our crotch measurement is 13. We're going to start, okay, from our extension. We're going to start from our back extension, and we're going to take our crotch measurement. Now we have our crotch measurement, the front one. On the crotch line, that's where we're going to take our thigh line. Our thigh is 29 inches, okay? So we're going to start from our back crotch depth mark that we have here. Remember that the front crotch here, this is part of the thigh, is 13. So we're going to start our back thigh measurement from 13, from the back crotch measurement point, okay? And we're going to take it up to where it ends. Our thigh is 29, so we're going to mark our 29 here. As you can see, the 29 is outside here. You just take, you can do here and mark it here. This is our 29. So we're going to connect we're going to connect this part of the waist right here up to our thigh measurement right here. I hope we can understand that. Just follow the video and do it as many times as possible. Look at the video as many times as possible and you will understand it. So on the waist, on the hip measurement, remember that when we were taking our hip measurement in the front, we removed 1 inch from it. So basically now we're going to take our hip measurement, we're going to return our 1 inch to it. Okay, when we return our 1 inch from the one we removed from the back, remember we divided our hip into 4 and we subtracted 1 inch from the front because we explained that the front hip is not as wide as the back hip. So we're going to return that hip measurement back to the back. That's the 1 inch point here. So now we're going to connect this crotch measurement to the hip measurement. We're going to use a curved ruler to do that. Okay, now we're going to connect it to our waist measurement that we cut here. This is for the back. We'll still soften all our curves as we go on. Don't worry, we're going to soften. We'll continue coming down. So on the knee, on the back knee, remember we removed 1/2 inch. So we're going to add 1/2 inch to the back knee. The 1/2 inch that we removed, it comes back here. We're going to put it back, okay? We're also going to put it back here. And we're also going to connect. We'll connect the back. This is the back trouser now, the back pants that we're doing. At the hem also, remember that we removed 1/2 inch. We're going to add back our 1/2 inch there. We're going to add back a 1/2 inch and we're going to connect all the way down. We're going to connect all the way down. Right here, we'll soften these curves. We'll soften the curves. We'll soften the curves. Then we'll now come and work on this other side, the crotch for the back. So for the back crotch, we'll come and connect it. Remember, we added our 1/2 inch back at the knee. So we'll come back and we'll connect it. And we'll connect this one back with the 1/2 inch that we removed at the base of the trouser. This place here is very sharp, so we're just going to curve it. We're going to put a curve. We'll soften the curve. We'll soften the curve out and erase all the straight lines, okay? Then at this place here, please pay attention to this crotch. This crotch step here is 8 inches. The one in front is 8.75. So what do? We're going to take the crotch depth for this one, the crotch length from the crotch line to the knee line. We have 8 inches. For this one now, we have 8.75. So what we're going to do is that we're going to measure up from here to here, okay? And we'll mark. That means that the front crotch measurement of this one is what we're going to mark here, okay? I hope you got that. And we're going to draw a straight line here. I hope you understand what I did here. This measurement, this length here, is what we're going to measure from here all the way up, okay? And we're going to draw a straight line. That's where our back crotch is going to start from. After we'll join our line, we'll connect it to the back crotch here, okay? Then we'll now connect it to this line here. Connect it to the top of our waistline here. And this is the top of our waistline here, remember, our dots that we made here. Then we'll come and start our connections. We're using our curved ruler to get the back crotch measurement. And we just connect it to the back. Just connect it to the back crotch measurement. So that is our back crotch. Now we're going to be doing, we want to fix out our darts. Remember we took in 1.5 inches for our darts. So we're going to come here and get the center point of our waist and fix where our darts is going to be. Our waist is 9 inches. Okay, for the back, remember we added 1.5 inches. So when we come here now, we'll take out this thing by up to the 9 inches mark. We'll mark it there. And the dart length is about 5 inches. So you mark it down. Then we come here, we're going to follow this bend like this. The same way how it is the way we're going to follow it all the way down like this. Okay, we're going to tilt it all the way down. We're not going to do it straight like this, but it's going to be tilted at the same angle. Okay, so we come out here and we mark our darts. That's a straight line. We take 0.5 inches by the side. Take 0.5 inches here, and take 0.5 inches here. Sorry, we take 0.75 inches because we left 0.75 inches because our dart is 1.5. So we'll take 0.75. Please note it's 0.75 inches on each side for these darts, not 0.5, 0.75. Because we gave an allowance of 1.5 for the darts measurement. So we're going to use 0.75. Then over here too, we're going to use 0.75 because this is a plus size person. So we want it to chin at the waist very well. Okay, so basically that's it. This is the back pattern and this is the front pattern. When we want to cut it out, we'll place this on a tracing paper. We place this on a tracing paper and we'll trace out all the lines of the back pattern. You trace out all the lines of the front pattern on the tracing pattern using our tracing wheel and you'll be able to cut it out. Please don't forget to leave allowances for all on your pattern. Leave enough allowance, half inch or 1 inch allowance before you cut. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this video was very explanatory. Thank you for stopping by. Please, if you have any other questions, just put them in the comment box, okay? And I'll attend to every single one of them. Thank you and have a lovely day. Please don't forget to press on the subscribe button and share this video and like it. Have a wonderful day. Bye.